He missed the most important job interview of his life just to help a stranger on the side of the road. But what he didn't know was that this stranger wasn't ordinary. She was the mother of a multi-million-dollar SEO and the single dads. A simple act of kindness would flip his entire world upside down. From losing his last chance at a job to receiving an offer he never dreamed of. This is the story of how one selfless decision changed a father's destiny forever. Stay with me because what happens next proves that kindness is never wasted. If I help her, I'll lose the job, but if I walk away, I'll lose myself. Those were the exact words running through Daniel's mind as he stood on the busy sidewalk, holding his 7-year-old daughter Maya's hand. He was dressed in his only formal shirt, slightly wrinkled but clean, heading for the most important job interview of his life. After months of struggling, borrowing money, and skipping meals so Maya wouldn't have to, this was his one chance to finally bring stability back to her life. But fate stopped him right there. An elderly woman, leaning on a cane, stood helplessly beside her broken car. Sweat dripped down her forehead as she tried to lift the hood, her hands shaking. People walked past her like she was invisible. "Daddy, she looks scared," Maya whispered. Daniel glanced at his watch. He had exactly 14 minutes to make it across the city. Helping her meant risking everything. Not helping her meant betraying the values he tried to teach his daughter. He took a deep breath. "Let's help her," he said. That decision changed his life in a way he never expected. Daniel pushed the old car to the side, calming the woman as she panicked about blocking the road. He checked the engine, found the issue, and used his last bottle of water to cool it down. Maya held the woman's purse and offered tissues with her tiny hands. "You're a blessing, both of you," the woman said softly. But time was slipping by the time the car started again. Daniel's phone buzzed. The interview time had passed. The company sent a message. "Position has been filled. Thank you for your interest." His heart sank. He forced a smile for Maya, patting her head. "It's okay, sweetheart. We did the right thing." The woman insisted on giving him money, but he gently refused. "We didn't help you for anything in return. Just get home safe." The woman stared at him, surprised by his sincerity. "Not many people say that anymore," she whispered. Daniel walked away feeling defeated. He had saved a stranger, but lost the job that could have saved his future. Or so he thought. The next morning, Daniel woke up early to prepare Maya for school. He tried to hide his stress, but she noticed. "Daddy, maybe something good will happen," she said with an innocent smile. He kissed her forehead. "I hope so, princess." When he returned home after dropping her off, he found an unfamiliar luxury car parked outside his small apartment building. A woman in a black suit stood beside it. "Mr. Daniel Reed?" she asked. "Yes." She handed him a card. "Elena Grant, CEO, Grant Technologist." Daniel froze. "I believe you helped my mother yesterday," Elena said. His eyes widened. "Your mother?" She nodded. "She told me everything. Your kindness, your refusal to take money, your daughter's compassion. My mother doesn't praise people easily, but she wouldn't stop talking about you." Daniel didn't know what to say. Elena smiled. "Get dressed. I'd like you to come with me. We have something important to discuss." Confused and nervous, Daniel followed her, having no idea he was walking into the biggest opportunity of his life. Elena took him to a towering glass building, a company headquarters. He had only seen places like this in movies. Employees straightened up as she walked by, and Daniel suddenly felt out of place in his worn-out shirt. She led him to a conference room and placed a file on the table. "My mother told me you were heading to a job interview when you helped her. She also said you looked tired, like a man carrying more than he lets the world see." Daniel lowered his eyes. "So I want to offer you a position," she continued. "A good one. Stable income, benefits, and flexible hours so you can take care of Maya." Daniel blinked. "But you haven't seen my resume," she smiled. "I've seen your character. Skills can be taught. Integrity can't." His eyes filled with tears. "Why are you doing this?" "Because my mother said something I can't ignore. Anyone who chooses kindness over personal gain deserves a chance." Daniel covered his face with his hands, overwhelmed for the first time in a long time. His future felt bright. 2 weeks later, Daniel walked into his new office for the very first time. His steps were slow, almost cautious, as if he still couldn't believe any of this was real. The building's glass doors reflected a man who looked different, more confident, more hopeful. For the first time in years, he wasn't waking up worried about how he would feed his daughter or whether tomorrow would be harder than today. Inside, his desk was neatly arranged, a small nameplate shining proudly. "Daniel Reed, Operations Assistant." He touched it gently, almost afraid it might disappear. A few minutes later, Maya came running and Elena had personally invited her for a tour. She gasped loudly, her eyes widening as she looked at the office. "Daddy, you work in a big building now," she exclaimed, twirling happily. Daniel laughed, lifting her into his arms. "Yes, princess, and it's all because we chose kindness." As the days passed, Daniel became known in the company not just for his hard work but for his humility. He learned quickly, helped colleagues willingly, and greeted everyone with the same warm sincerity that had changed his fate weeks earlier. One evening, Elena invited Daniel and Maya to her mother's home for dinner. The cozy house smelled of freshly baked bread, and the elderly woman rushed to hug Daniel tightly. "You didn't just fix my car," she whispered, her eyes shining. "You fixed something in my heart." Maya smiled and hugged her too. "Daddy says helping people makes the world better, and he's absolutely right," the woman replied as they all sat around the dinner table, sharing stories, feeling like family. Daniel realized something profound. Sometimes life tests your heart before it blesses your future. He had missed an interview, but gained a destiny he never expected.